how do I work that many hours and still be a good dad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to break the paradigm in your mind that you can only be gone from 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I got to be home at 5, got to do dinner with the family, then I got to spend an hour talking to my wife. Dear God, how miserable, listening to everything in the day and all that stuff. And then I've got to try to catch a TV show and go to bed and get up and do it again. And you're trying to juggle all day, every day. So what we did was, I didn't have to be there every night. I didn't have to be there every morning. I literally would sit down with my family and go, okay, I've got some intensive work to do. This may be a week, it may be 2 weeks, it may be 30 days, it may be 90 days. And then at the end of this 90 days, this is what I have planned for us as a family. This at the end of this week, this is what I have planned for us as a family, and I'm all in, I'm all there, I'm 100% focused. It's breaking the paradigm in people's mind and going all in on work and all in on family.
Bring you value is our vow and our philosophy. The sales wolves hustle hard, it's our policy. We create economies, crushing anomalies. Came in this world to dominate with no apologies. Gotta get it till the day that we cease to breathe. Sales wolves got the tools that you know you need. Real lessons, confessions of what it really means to go from nothing to something and everything between. Married in the game and we took vows. Gonna get it poppin', yeah, when you hear them wolves howl. When you hear them wolves howl. Yeah, when you hear them wolves howl.
Welcome to the Sales Wolves Podcast. I am Tyler Harris. This is
Joseph Caldwell.
And this is
Jack Caldwell.
And this is
Yeah.
we almost had it. Not really. This is Arden Harris, Arden Mackenzie Harris, and we are the Sales Wolves. Ow.
Ow. We don't want to. We're with the baby wolves today.
This is episode 28 of the Sales Wolves Podcast, and this episode is titled Family Hustle.
Family hustle.
And as you can see, we've got some new additions with us this week.
Special guests.
Some special
And these
special
are
guests.
very special guests.
Very special guests.
As you probably guessed, this is my son, Jack. I also have 3 daughters. How old are you, son?
I'm 9. I'm 10. I keep forgetting that.
You just turned 10. Yeah. You just turned 10 like 2 weeks ago. So, and then this special little lady is Arden. And this is Tyler's new little baby girl. How old is she? 6 months?
She is 10 months.
10 months.
10 months.
10 months.
Yep.
Dude, 10 months flies by.
We just got in the invitations for her 1-year birthday, which is just crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's bizarre.
Hey, what's your, well, obviously you don't have a tradition because this is the first baby in the first year. Because we have a tradition, what we did for everybody's first birthday.
We're going with no gifts.
Awesome. I wasn't going to buy you one. It's fantastic.
Just started off really well.
No, what, do you have any tradition? Like, are you going to do a cake and
know.
play in it, or?
I have no idea.
How to plan it?
All
That's
I know,
what you did?
Oh yeah, I stuck my face in the chocolate cake.
You did. You went. Jack did this first off. He wasn't dainty about it. He just goes, just went straight at it. Year 1.
I don't know what we're going to do. Well, what I do know is it went from like, hey, let's just have a couple, just family over.
Yeah.
So now it's like, how many of us did we just order?
Now you have a space rented downtown Greenville and
well,
an event planner.
And it's at the new house, so I'm like, man, we're gonna hardly be moved in, but we're gonna have some people there.
What's her birthday? It's October.
It's September 20th.
September 20th.
And so I think we're doing it a couple of days before then, but yeah, I think she called the birthday party the wild one.
The wild. I love that.
That is her.
The wild one. Are you a little wild one, baby? Look at that smile. Look at that smile. I'm gonna hide.
So this weekend is my first solo weekend with Arden. The entire weekend.
Your wife finally trusted you?
Finally.
Yeah.
I didn't earn it, but.
So you changed your first diaper this morning.
It was out of necessity. But she's gone on a trip, and so we're going to have some quality time this weekend, which I'm looking forward to.
That is awesome.
What is that?
What is that? Just yank it off. I'm going to pull that thing apart.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're going to talk about today, is we're both dads, man. We get on here and we talk about the hustle. We talk about how hard we work. I talk about getting up in the morning at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning and working straight through. And we got on here and we scoffed at work-life balance. I mean, we got on here and scoffed at it. We tore it to shreds because people use it as an excuse. And we want to remove excuses. But you know what? Tyler called me yesterday and he said, hey, I can't do the podcast in the morning. I got Arden with me. I was like, yes, you can. I was like, I got all my kids. I'll bring one of mine with me. We'll sit and do the podcast together because we're a family, right? Because we're a family. And so we wanted people to understand, like, you don't have to sacrifice family for success. Like, you become successful because of family. You use them as a reason as opposed to a work-life balance excuse. Right? So I did not prep my son, and obviously Tyler did not prep Arden.
I thought you prepped for this. No?
He said, Dad, what are you going to ask me? And I was like, I don't know, buddy. I was like, just answer when I ask you.
It's kind of like our conversation before every podcast.
Before every podcast, Tyler's like, what are you gonna say? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? So,
but I think there's an important note there, and we've talked about it before. Is that when you talk about work-life balance, there's two ways to balance a scale. One is taking away, which is the way most people talk about work-life balance. If I need to increase in one area, I need to take away from another area. But if you need to increase in an area, you can also just increase in that area. And there's so many other ways, like sleep and like all the different leisurely activities that people do away from their families and away from work that a lot of times they're not willing to decrease in order to increase the family time. But I think that's what's so important when you talk about work-life balance is the fact that, like, hey,
I love it. She's like, I'm gonna get it, Daddy. It don't matter where you put it.
You trying to say something?
She wants to speak into the microphone.
Hey.
She wants to speak into the microphone. She's precious. So I'm glad you were talking about that because our families are super important to us. And one thing that I have always been, I won't say always, I won't say early on that I was careful about this. And their first, when Jack, his first 2 or 3 years of his life, and the girls, the first 5 years of their lives, because they're older, his daughter, or my daughters, his sisters are older. I wasn't always careful in the beginning, like Tyler is being careful now, because we've talked about these things. Man, just give it to her. Let her tear.
She just lost a shoe. I don't know when that happened.
I don't even.
That's all right.
Where is it? Oh, it's
right
down
there.
It's all right. It's not going to go back on.
But yeah, don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Who cares?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg with
Steven
the baby
Spielberg
toy.
back in action. I didn't even know what I was talking about. Oh, so I didn't plan for it early on, but I started realizing how important it was. So I started doing dates with my daughters, right? And I've talked to you about that. And making sure that you set aside time. And we talked about people not being really on and not being really off. So when you're off with her this weekend, there's no work going to be done. There's no work. Work is non-existent in the world at that point, and you're 100% her. And so that's why I don't understand people that say I have to split my time between this, because none of us can really juggle two things at once. We're not good at it. So if my mind is a stage, and I try to put work on the stage and I try to put family on the stage, then my productivity with both goes down by 30%. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is insane. So anyway, that's something I wanted to make sure that people understood, and then I also want them to see some of the passion that we have for our kids, and we incorporate them into what we do, and that kind of thing. So what are your plans when it comes to that? I mean, I know you can't really incorporate her in now, but
I mean, it's so much of it. Like, I do travel a lot, so I'm on the road, 3 to 4 nights a week, almost every week. And I have people all the time. They're like, how are you able to do that, with a baby now? Like, isn't it so much harder? And the answer, of course, is it's absolutely harder. But I try to explain to them that, especially right now when she's this age, and I mean, like we were just saying, she needs to sleep, eat, poop, repeat.
That's
I'm in a fortunate situation to where Maitland, my wife, does not have to work. So she's with her full time and does an incredible job. But the way I explain to him is, 100% she needs me there. And when I'm there, I am 100% there.
100%.
But the time that I have now that I can go and build and grow and accumulate, when she really needs me is when she's 8 and when she's 13 and when she's 20 years old. And what can I do over the next 4, 5, 6 years to put myself in a position to where when she is 8, that we have an incredible amount of flexibility and just have built an incredible lifestyle for her that most don't experience.
Right.
To be able to go places and do things and and so for me, I did a video last week, and the title of the video was "The World Deserves Your Best."
Yep.
And you can get all philosophical and talk about how the world deserves your best, but each of us have our own world, right?
That's exactly right.
And for us, our family is our world, and so our family is the one that deserves our best.
They deserve our best.
And I remember, I think the first time I ever heard it phrased this way was Grant Cardone, when he talked about you have a moral and ethical responsibility to put in 100% effort. You have a responsibility to your family, you have a responsibility to yourself. But when you think about in the framework of the world deserves your best and the world being your family, like how can I leave on Sunday night or Monday morning and go work and not utilize that time to the fullest, knowing what I'm sacrificing, not risking, and what I'm sacrificing, which is time with her, and knowing that I have to put in 100% effort to make it worth the sacrifice.
Yep.
And always having that in the back of your mind of knowing that, hey, what's this? Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Let me see if she'll do it. She just started doing this. Hey, Arden.
That's it.
Hey, can I have a kiss? Hey, can I have a kiss? She's not gonna do it. She usually goes.
That's how they all do it.
Which is really cute at first until it's like this gigantic open mouth, like wet slobber.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay.
All of mine did the exact same thing. Just it's been a long time. Don't shake your head. Jack was going, not this one.
Got the microphone. But that's it. That's the world deserves your best. And when you talk about if your why is not big enough, your excuses will be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've got 5 whys, 4 in your spouse, and I've got 2 whys, plus a lot of others. But I mean, that's the important. That's what's important, and that's what, to me, like every meeting that I go into, I'm like, when you're in sales, a lot of time you can get bogged down with the normal routine of your sales cycle, and it's easy to just kind of coast through, but I try to remind myself, like before every single meeting, I'm like, okay, I'm not at home right now.
Yep.
I'm on the road. I'm about to go into this meeting. I have to give it my absolute best because I have people at home that are depending on it. Number one, do you want the mic? Did you want to talk? Did you want to talk?
Hey, Arden. Psst, come here. Just come here. Come here.
Say,
Will you come to me?
go to Uncle Joe.
Hey.
Which, by the way, she got woken up this morning. She's the most incredible baby on this planet, and she literally sleeps in till like 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I woke her up this morning at 6:30, and she wasn't exactly the happiest with me about it.
About to lose a sock. So one thing that I've always made sure my kids know, and I did not tell Jack I was going to ask him this, but I want you to say it, that I made sure you know, is how much I love you. So how much do I love you?
Passion of 1,000 burning suns.
With the passion of 1,000 burning suns. And I knew that Jack was my son. Like, I don't know if I ever told you this, Tyler, but literally, I love this kid so much. I knew early on that, and I'll tell you a story about it, but I knew early on that he was my son when I was up. It was 2:15 in the morning, and I'm walking past his room. I don't even know if you remember this. And I'm getting ready to go downstairs and get on the computer, get email, do whatever, start working. And I hear this, psst. And I was like, what? And I walked in his room, and he's wide awake. He's like 4.5 years old probably. And he goes, psst. And I was like, what, buddy? And he goes, Daddy, come here. And I went over to him, and you remember what you did?
What?
You went, feel my muscle.
That's awesome.
And I was like, buddy, that's awesome. That is a big muscle. And I was walking out of the room. I was like, man, this kid is just like me. He's up in the middle of the night trying to get somebody to feel his muscles.
Malin woke up to go to the bathroom in the middle of last night, and I was like, babe,
come here.
I didn't get the same response though.
Didn't
She was not impressed.
it was awesome. So, but I knew that, and you should feel this way about your kids. I don't know that, I'm sure that every parent could or should, no matter, I just don't know how a parent could not feel the way I feel. Like, it literally, if I could have sat down with God Almighty, and he and I could sit across the table like you and I are now, and we just sit there for days and plan out what your kids were going to be like literally, if I could have done that, I couldn't have done a better job than what I got. Like, it's just unbelievable. This is my man right here. He had his second football practice last night, and you want to go sit with Jack?
You can try.
Let's sit with Jack.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Hey.
Hey. What's up? It's all new, isn't it? You just want to pull on stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Come here. You nervous with her in your lap?
Yes.
Me too.
What's up? What's up? Look, she wanting to go back.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Don't worry. There's an arranged marriage in your future.
It's always weird. Like, we meet with so many people one-on-one, and they're like, hey, what's your age? And they're like, oh, I'm 47. And then you're like, how old's your spouse? He's like, 35. I'm like, oh, that's not that weird. I'm like, that's not that weird. But the further you rewind it, the weirder it gets. I'm like, wait, when you were 50? That gets way weirder. What's up?
Ready? Supergirl.
She was kicking her legs
She
back.
likes that, man.
Gotcha.
It's like she's flying.
But I think it's important, number one, for people to see that we actually do have a family. Because we'll have people from time to time, they'll comment on our social media and they'll be like, yeah, bro, that's cool that you didn't sleep last night and that you worked through the night, and that's cool and all, but what if you got a family?
Yeah.
It's like, well, Joseph's got 4 kids. I've got 12, just bundled up into one. And that's it. And so it's just all about going all in on every area.
I've had people throw stuff. I don't know if you've had anybody say anything, well, money's not the most important thing and all this stuff. And literally, like I said, I didn't prep him for any of this. So what are some things that are more important than money?
Well, God.
Family, God. That's about it, right?
That's
Family and God. More important than money. I didn't seriously, people are probably like, you probably grilled that into him right before you walked in.
He just put down his flashcards.
Yeah. But that's not true. We teach our kids what the most important things are. And we want them to grow up knowing they're more important than money. Because listen, success without significance leads to emptiness. So if Tyler and I were successful and had lots of money, but we didn't have the significance of being dad. Yeah, if you didn't have the significance and to be able to lean over right now and smell baby hair, like I hadn't smelled baby hair. I hadn't held a baby in a long time, dude. When I just held her and I smelled her baby hair, I was like, holy crap, that is so awesome. even when it's mingled with half throw up and everything else that you get as a kid. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And so I wanted people to realize that. That's why I wanted you to bring her in here. I know she would absolutely destroy everything she could get her hands on. And I love that, right?
Is that your phone?
Oops.
Jack's phone's going off? You got a big business conference call? Holy cow.
He's got a meeting he's got to be at.
Sec, I'll call you right back, bro.
Hey, but I teach my kids to be entrepreneurs. You know, Lainey made these little bath bombs.
Oh, yeah.
And dude went to our neighbors and sold them to our neighbors. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think
They weren't bath bombs. They were like stress balls. And
she made stress balls.
So she made like she blew up a balloon and put flour in them.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to just squeeze them.
So she went and sold stress balls to our neighbors after she made them.
That's awesome.
What'd she do with the bath bombs? I know she made some.
Yeah, she used them.
I just thought to myself,
That's good too.
well, I got to teach her that if you're going to sell something, you don't use it. But anyway, we had
She
some
got clean
fun.
on her own supplies.
Yeah. You just gotta-
When you're in the bath business. When you're out here slinging them bombs.
Yep.
You know, Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about when he was a little kid that he would pull up flowers out of his neighbors' yards and then knock on their door and sell them their own flowers.
No way. That's a great idea.
That's smart.
That's smart.
So in your with your classmates and are y'all seeing a lot of this slime stuff? People making slime, isn't that what they call it? Slime?
Yeah, my sister makes slime all the time
Really?
and leave out the
I've heard it's like a
material.
huge thing. People are selling that stuff.
Yep.
A bunch of kids are selling slime.
Yeah, they make slime. We got so much of it at our
Really?
house, man.
They
Yeah.
leave out the materials, and then I don't know where to put it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's something we've been working on at my house is clean up after yourself. I had a little family meeting last
My
night.
wife told me that's something that we're working on.
That's your wife has been working. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, but we had a little family meeting on that last night. 'Cause I came in and the milk was sitting out and it was warm.
good.
It's like seriously, come on.
And it wasn't me.
It wasn't you because you were at football practice, man. He crushed football practice last night. It was
I used to
good.
be a kicker.
Did you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was one of those very random people that was like middle linebacker and kicker.
Yeah.
And the punter, which is even weirder. Kicker,
Yeah.
punter, middle linebacker, and fullback.
Wow.
So,
Dude, will you come out and practice some with him?
yeah, for sure.
Because I never played. Like, I'm
love
learning football
kicking
now,
up.
Tyler. I've never watched an entire game of football. I played rugby and I played soccer and I played baseball. Played a little bit of basketball. But rugby's so different, man. I'm looking at how they play. Like, he's only had 2 practices now. I've been to both
Sounds like you're
practices.
from a different country.
It is like I'm from a different.
All I've done is played rugby.
Rugby.
I don't know anything about this
Rugby
American
and
football.
soccer and football. My football was
I
soccer.
can remember when I was, whoa. I can remember when I was in the, you want your shoe? Do you want your shoe? I can remember when I was in the 6th grade, we had moved to Texas. And, you know, obviously football is gigantic in Texas. So, like,
Gigantic.
our 6th grade football team had like 175 people on it or something crazy like that. But I had never played football before ever in my life. And all these kids, you know, living in Texas, they've been playing together since like kindergarten.
Yeah.
And so I remember they put
Or
me
before.
yeah, so they put me at like offensive guard. And I
What is
remember
that?
the first, just like this to the right of the center. I was a right guard. No, it's not the bench.
Tyler just said that like, boy, I have never been on the bench.
Yeah, unless I was hurt.
Unless I was hurt.
From hurting someone else.
From hurting.
But I was at right guard, and they told me, they were like, hey, we're going to run a sweep. You need to pull. And I'm like, got it. And so I get down to my stands, they blow the whistle, I'm just like standing up, and I'm like, pull. I don't know. They blow the whistle, they're like, Harris, you were supposed to pull. I'm like, yes, sir, pull, got it. Get back down the stands, they blow the whistle, I'm like, and I just like take the guy in front of me and just kind of like pull him. And I was like, they're like, Harris, what don't you understand? I just told you to pull. And finally I was just like, I have no idea what pull means. They're like, pull is when you go from here and you run all the way down this way and block the guy on the end so we can sweep around you. I'm like, that makes so much more sense.
Oh.
I'm like, from here on out, any of those slang terms, let's just go ahead and throw them out on the out front so we don't have to do this again. He's like, what is wrong with you?
Hey, do you see that he didn't know what he was doing, right? So one of the main things Jack was concerned with was, I don't know what I'm doing out there.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to learn, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling him, no matter what we start in life, we don't know what we're doing. Can you name anything that you started for the first time that you knew exactly what you were doing?
Absolutely not.
None. Yeah. I've been in this marriage game for 18 years. I still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, and we talk about, I think we've talked about this on a prior podcast, talking about feeling like a fraud and how it's actually a good thing, because when you're in like a fraudulent state, like when you feel like a fraud, it's because you're doing something that you haven't done before, but you're doing it with a level of confidence of knowing that, like, whatever it is, I'm going to crush it.
Yeah.
And anytime you're doing something you've never done, but you have the confidence of knowing you're going to do it well,
She's just wearing out the bottom of that shoe, son. Just licking the bottom of it.
It's good. Those are brand new.
And she doesn't walk yet.
She's not doing much walking.
She doesn't walk yet, so no judgment. Don't send us any messages saying that we're going to keep the
emails
shoe.
in my inbox from Converse. Like, our shoes are not made as chew toys.
How long is this gonna be? Because I remember.
I think on this call afterwards.
I got this business call.
I remember Mama told me I'm going to Aunt Lauren's house.
Today,
Yes.
we'll get you home, I promise.
Okay.
All right.
Because I'm going to the wrestling thing.
You going to what? With Uncle Sean? Cool. Is it downtown Greenville?
I have no idea.
Are you sure you're going today and not tomorrow?
I'm going today.
We're going to Dave & Buster's this weekend.
I thought you were about to say today.
Not today.
I got the I was at Frankie's yesterday and I got the jackpot in under 10 minutes.
Wow.
And then he had, like, how many tickets do you have to spend?
I got 1,000.
Holy cow.
Oh, and I won free things from claw machines.
Dude, he has the claw machine figured out. It's weird. He gets every time he's got it figured out. Dude.
That's
He gets something. And then he said he had those guys when he had the tickets. He had all the workers following him. He's like, I'll take 25 of those. I'll take 25 of those. I'll take.
What did he say? I think Kim was telling me about something was happening at school and somebody was doing something for him. And what was it?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, they're my employee. And Kim goes, what? And he said, yeah, I have employees at school. What were you talking about?
And then they quickly taught him that they are not employees, that they were contracted as 1099. So make sure that you watch your verbiage.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, he's a little entrepreneur.
I have employees at school.
All right. Well,
you want to wrap this thing up, man,
Yeah,
and get these
man.
youngins where we need to be?
I think the ticking time bomb is about to go off.
Yeah.
It's nap time
Yeah.
for both of us.
Look at that
Oh,
green.
I thought you
Look
were
at that
talking about
grin.
she was about to fart.
I bet she does that too.
That could be.
That's a
That could be
probability.
it. Well, just blame it on her.
Yep.
It's all right. But yeah, guys, we just wanted to do this quick podcast with these cats.
Yeah.
But just to remind you, always keep the why in the back of your mind. You've all got it. If you've got a family, that should be it.
That should be it.
It's a little tip there. If you have a family and it's not.
Oh, and
That's
you know what
probably
I forgot to
something you need
mention, Tyler?
address.
Is I wanted to say something about real quick. Like if you're going, well, how do I work that many hours and still be a good dad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you need to break the paradigm in your mind. And I'll hit this real quick, and then we'll shut it down. But you got to break the paradigm in your mind that you can only be gone from 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I got to be home at 5, got to do dinner with the family, got to do, then I got to spend an hour talking to my wife. Dear God, how miserable, listening to everything in the day and all that stuff. And then I've got to try to catch a TV show and go to bed and get up and do it again. And you're trying to juggle all day, every day. Man, what is up? Do you have a conference call to be on?
No.
And
They calling me.
They calling me. So what we did was I didn't have to be there every night. I didn't have to be there every morning. I literally would sit down with my family and go, okay, I've got some intensive work to do. This may be a week, it may be 2 weeks, it may be 30 days, it may be 90 days. And then at the end of this 90 days, this is what I have planned for us as a family. This at the end of this week, this is what I have planned for us as a family, and I'm all in, I'm all there, I'm 100% focused. Let's make this all about what we do. Let's go camping, or we just went camping a weekend ago, 2 weekends ago, and it dumped on us. I mean, dumped rain on. Oh yeah, we were.
We
inside.
barely got any rain in the tent.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
We stayed dry. It
but
was fun.
we did not stay asleep.
No, we did not stay asleep. It was uncomfortable. I've not slept on the ground in a long time.
We had to take off our shirts and use them as pillows.
Yes, we did. That was fun. But anyway, it's breaking the paradigm in people's mind and going all in on work and all in on family, no matter what the time frame is. Anyway,
and with that, it's 100% it's communication and expectations.
Yep.
That's the biggest problem. I think I read some article about the biggest marriage and family problems is expectations.
Yep.
Expectations that are not communicated.
True.
So one person has a
get it. Pull his tongue out.
So one person has an expectation. The other person has an expectation. Neither of them know what the other's is. And so it's a disaster. But save those expectations, like you just said, like, hey, I'm going to be doing this for this period of time, but then we're going to do this. Then you have something to work towards. Then we have something to look forward to.
And they get involved with it. They go, Daddy, how was it today? How many policies did you sell? How much money are we making today? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a family affair. Yeah. Hey, 3 days until we go on this trip. 3 days till we go camping. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to touch on that before we jumped off.
Yeah, and the other thing I just saw yesterday, this guy was talking about, he said, no matter what happens in my day or if I'm gone for a couple of days, like as soon as I get home, he's like, I crawl on the floor and play with my child. He's like, and there's not a single thing that bad could happen during your day that about 10 minutes into being on the floor with your kid playing.
What did I do when you set her on the floor? What's the first thing I did when you set her on the floor in here? I laid down and got down on her level and we were playing. And but anyway, that's awesome, man. But just so you guys know who we are, this is
Jack Caldwell.
Jack Caldwell. And that is
Tyler Harris and
Arden. Who cares who you are?
Who are you? I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
This is Arden Mackenzie Harris.
Yes, and Tyler Harris and Joseph Caldwell.
And we are the Sales Wolves.
Ow. You want to give a howl? All right, guys. See y'all later.